Have you ever heard of a saint who could bring sunshine with just a smile? Or who was protected from storms by a giant eagle? This is the story of Saint Medard, a kind and generous soul from long ago France. From his childhood, he was known for his incredible kindness, always ready to help those in need. He grew up to be a beloved bishop, and his life was filled with amazing miracles, making him the person people prayed to for good harvests and sunny skies. In a small town in France, almost 1,500 years ago, lived a boy named Medard. He wasn't just any boy. From a very young age, it was clear that Medard had a heart full of sunshine, even when the skies were gray. He was known throughout his town of Salency for his radiant smile and a kindness that seemed to know no bounds. Here is one of the most famous stories from his childhood. One day, while walking home, he met a poor man, blind and shivering in the cold, with clothes that were little more than rags. Without a second thought, Medard took off the new coat his parents had just given him and wrapped it around the man. When his father later asked what had happened to the coat, Medard simply explained he couldn't bear to see the man suffer. His father, filled with pride, didn't scold him. Instead, he saw the deep goodness in his son's heart. Young Medard was always looking for ways to help. If he saw someone hungry, he would give them his own lunch. If a friend was sad, Medard's cheerful laugh would soon have them smiling too. As Medard grew, so did his reputation for piety and wisdom. He studied hard and eventually became a priest, and later a bishop. As a bishop, he was a true shepherd to his people. He didn't just stay in his grand church. He walked the muddy roads of the countryside. He visited the poor, tending to the sick, and teaching everyone about God's love. Many miracles were attributed to him. One famous story involves a thief who crept into the convent's vineyard one night to steal grapes. As he reached for a juicy bunch, he was suddenly frozen in place, unable to move. He stood there like a statue all night long. The next morning, the nuns found him, terrified and ashamed. They called for Bishop Medard, who simply looked at the man with kindness. He prayed for him and set him free. The thief, overcome with remorse, never stole again. We're so grateful for your support. As you know, creating high-quality content takes time. We simply can't keep this going on YouTube revenue alone. That's why we're asking for your help. If you believe in what we're doing and want to see this channel continue to grow, please consider supporting us through Patreon or PayPal. It helps us produce new videos and series. Together, we can continue spreading God's word. Another time, a thief stole a cow from a poor farmer. He led the cow to his own barn, thinking he had gotten away with it. But when Bishop Medard learned of the theft, he prayed. Suddenly, the bell on the cow's neck began to ring so loudly that it couldn't be silenced. The thief tried everything to stop the ringing bell, but he failed. The ringing led the farmer right to the thief's barn to reclaim his cow. But perhaps the most famous legend about Saint Medard is why he is connected to the weather. One day, while traveling, Medard was caught in a sudden, violent rainstorm. Thunder crashed and rain poured down. Suddenly, a giant eagle is said to have swooped down from the sky. It didn't attack him. Instead, it hovered right over his head, spreading its massive wings like a living umbrella, shielding the saint completely from the downpour. Because of this incredible story, people began to pray to Saint Medard for protection against bad weather. An old French rhyme says, "If it rains on Saint Medard's day, it will rain for 40 days more." After a long life of service, when Saint Medard felt his time on earth was ending, he asked to be carried into his church. There, at the foot of the altar where he had served God so faithfully, he passed away peacefully. The King of France himself, King Clotaire I, had such a great love for the bishop that when he died, the king insisted on helping carry the saint's body all the way to the city of Soissons, where a beautiful church was built to honor him. For his entire life, Saint Medard was a beacon of joy, generosity, and faith. He showed everyone that a kind heart and a smiling face were powerful gifts. He protected the poor and guided the lost, and through his legends, he even gave people hope during a storm. So the next time you see dark clouds gathering, you can remember the story of Saint Medard and the great eagle that became his umbrella.